This is for my beautiful Black people, Black Americans primarily, but recognize the Black diasporas. The whole globe has been subjected to Euro-American colonialism, but not every ethnic group has laid out a framework to resist white supremacy and colonialism the way Black Americans have. And so with that, I just want to name the fact that we are so tolerant of white supremacy. There used to be a time where we were intolerant towards it, and we used to be very vigilant in terms of dismantling systems that oppress, limit opportunities and resources for Black folk, which inevitably reduces the quality of life, self-determination, and collective well-being of Black communities. And so with that, I just want to name, as an interdisciplinary social scientist and a Black radical, how heartbreaking it is to do work that pushes us forward, but knowing that it is commercially popular to engage in beliefs, attitudes, behaviors, to engage in cultural norms and practices that undermine any progression in forward movement. I loathe it. And I recognize that everyone loathes it, because not everyone is committed to the upward mobility and liberation of Black folk. Folks may say it in theory, but again, in practice, y'all real tolerant. Y'all uphold these structures, dog. And it's frustrating. And we should be frustrated, right? We have a culture where we are so unserious. We're so unserious, and then we excuse our unseriousness, and we create coping mechanisms that don't help us navigate these systems, but that help us be more comfort and snuggled in our oppression. And yeah, it's heartbreaking. Frankie Beverly just passed yesterday, so did James Earl Jones. And these were elders who originated a lot of artwork, who used their talents to tell stories that we're no longer telling. We're not even reading about them. And what saddens me is that with the greatness that previous generations have given us, there's nothing replacing it. And I know y'all call everyone an icon, and y'all think everyone who has a celebrity status is on par with those who have come before, but the game is so different. You don't gotta be talented to be a celebrity, y'all. You have to know the right people and have the money, and or be willing to sell out like Sexy Red, right? Like, and have majority of these rappers for the past 30 years. I'm ranting, I know. I just wanted to name something that we don't name, is that we have missed the plot. We're fucking up. We're messing up. Sorry, can't stuff. But we don't have to stay lost. But if we continue down the path that we're going, man, my biggest fear is genetic annihilation. But I guess the next to that will be, I guess, what's already happening. We are an ethnic group that is a former shadow of our greater selves. And what makes us dope, just like all the rap songs y'all love and listen to today that are just samples, what makes us dope is the effort and the work of the generations who came before us, who were a lot more serious, who were a lot more committed to the collective needs and concerns of the community, and who did not place material wealth over the content and messaging in their art, and who are responsible enough to know that with great power comes great responsibility. I wonder, and I sit at my altar with my ancestors, and I engage the Most High and wonder if we need to keep fighting. But if people like me, people give a fuck for real, not speak it, but don't live it. If we should stop, it's just a waste of our time. Because I think of Sonia Sanchez, she's 90. She was during the Black arts movement with Mary Baraka, Nikki Giovanni, Maya Angelou, Kwame Ture, Sophie Carmichael, the Black Panther Party, self-defense, during that time, 60s, 70s. She's 90. And we have have a whole generation of elders who live through the experiences that we study or barely study. And I know these folks have committed their lives to the upper mobility and liberation of Black people. Just to get 90 and see the decline, to see the nihilism, to see the lack of education about self. And I wonder if they regret it. If they could do over again what they choose themselves, knowing that it essentially became a waste. And I'm not saying COINTELPRO, which is a counterintelligence program ran by the CIA and the FBI to neutralize Black radical politics, wasn't a thing, and that they didn't imprison our sisters and brothers, that they didn't force them on the run like Assata Shakur. I'm not saying that white supremacy is not functioning as it is intended to. I'm saying we're not doing our part. I'm saying we're comfortable in our oppression, and that's where we're stopping. And I think it's really dangerous because not only have we gotten comfortable in our oppression, but we call things that we know are degrading, empowering. All this music, and you call it empowerment. And I blame the intellectuals like myself, those who ascribe analysis onto celebrities that don't exist just so they can be cozy up to the celebrity for some social capital. That's a form of selling out because it lacks integrity. It lacks dignity. And to be an intellectual, at least the type of intellectual that I am, in service of the community, Ubuntu, I am because we are because I am, lifting as we climb, these African indigenous proverbs that have for a long time been the framework that has allowed Black folk, y'all, to not only survive but thrive so much that this American government has bombed its own country to prevent us from thriving as much as we were. And I think we forget. I think we forget that we have mechanisms and ways of being that benefits us. But again, we got to be vigilant. You can't do both. You can't uphold people who are legitimately building wealth from tearing Black women down, from tearing community down, and then say, you want a safe community for your kids. Safe where? You love it when they're talking about killing each other. What do you mean? I know it's me, y'all. You can say it's me. You can refute. And I do want to say, again, Black Americans, there are so many people who consume, exploit, and culturally appropriate Black American culture who are not at all involved in the nuances or intimate networkings of Black American thought nor experiences. So things that are concerns of the collective aren't necessarily the concerns of the people who are consuming our commercialized, marketed culture. And it's important to distinguish that because they're not connecting with the real, true folk. They connecting with the folk who are willing to sell out and do whatever to gain a little bit of wealth. Literally selling out. So yeah, if you don't agree, I would argue maybe you're not a member of this community. And unfortunately, a lot of Black immigrants have parents who come with anti-Black sentiments about Black Americans. And as you grow up, you proximate, you become a part of the culture. That's cool. But I argue that y'all perpetuate a lot of the commercial marketing that stereotypes Black people. But that's the image that's been sold to y'all. So you don't know what's organic or not. You will go against India Reed just to lift up Sexy Red or Megan Thee Stallion and not even know that one represents a cornerstone of Black Americans that values our full worth, and the others, y'all, the other sense of value comes from being desired. The other sense of value comes from external things that has nothing to do with your heart and soul and mind. We need to elevate. We need to develop, but we are devolving, and it's going to be us, this generation, to blame. We need to get serious. Peace and love. Peace and love.